Michael. 20 minutes, and I'm calling it a day. I'm cooking. I'm gonna cook some rice with miscellaneous vegetables. Okay. I want a I want a reference. Wait a second. Great. Okay. Let's raise this. Oh my golly gosh. Okay. I'll stream for another 10 minutes. Wait, is it even streaming? Let me check. Yeah, it is. Cool. Hey, Lewis, what's going on? I'll be doing all right. What up? Well, I guess today was pretty good when it comes to working on stuff. Working on the comics. I also been trying to schedule things on Facebook. I finally reached my 30 days. I can live stream there, finally, but still got to grow an audience on that platform. So I'm just still posting. The algorithm doesn't really know who to send my stuff to yet, so I'm just waiting. I'm just like not waiting, but I'm just like posting and continuously working on thing, just working on it. And I'm completely low energy because I bought a crap ton of snacks last night, and I've just been eating that. I've been going off of nothing but junk food today. This is why I should probably never uh, buy junk food. Like I usually don't. I usually don't go out and buy junk food. I just eat whatever I have, whatever rations I have at the house. Because if I ever have any snacks, like any junk snacks at the house, I'll just eat that instead of regular food, and I'll just sit in this desk, and I would just like walk around, exercise, eat junk food, and then just sit at this desk drawing. Is the Facebook under Masonymous as well? It's under Studio Masonymous because Masonymous was the first time I tried Facebook, but Studio Masonymous is the new one. I think the Masonymous Facebook page is technically deactivated, but you can still look it up. It's still on Facebook's books, technically, but I just can't access it. So it's a ghost account apparently. It's not technically, but it might as well be a ghost account because I can't access it anymore on anything. So that's weird. I can't access it on my Instagram or my new Facebook account. So I just had to start over with Studio Masonymous. I was hitting a really good rhythm with it too, with the uploading 12 times a day for a week. Because I know how to repurpose content. But the weird thing is it really varies. Aikinoko, hi, what are you drawing? Hey, Aikinoko, welcome to the chat. I'm drawing my comic, Chimera Island. It's about a hidden island striving to find balance. Whoa, I also got it printed out here. Ooh. It follows four characters: one that wants to find adventure, one that wants to find friends, one that wants to earn respect within his community, and the last one trying to find his identity. And this is chapter 2 of book 1. Yeah, I was going off of. I usually do things traditionally, then I go through them. I scan them in, and I go through them again. Looks so cool. Thank you. Thank you. I'm just. I think this will be like the last double page spread that I work on for this section. And then I'll move on to the next comic, which is. I believe it should be Just a Reaper. Yeah, Just a Reaper seems to be what's up next after this. But the good thing about this one is that I want it to be fairly simple. I'm just trying to hammer out how I'm going to deal with these textures and these background silhouettes. But yeah, so earlier today I was live streaming on Facebook just to see what's up, but it was just very reminiscent. It was very reminiscent of my early days of live streaming on Twitch and YouTube with nobody really looking at it. So, so where's the best place and or format to read your stuff? Um, I have it on my website. I have everything to read on my website so far. Um, but I'm not focused on that because I'm not making any money on it. I don't have a lot of traffic going to it, so I'm not really focused on. I don't think getting people to read it is oddly to. It's very odd to say, but that's not my top priority. My top priority is where I can post this to get people engaged with it, get engaged with the story, or way I can, or find a way how I can monetize the engagement, like I can on Facebook. But if you want to like read the entire thing, I have it on my website, and I do have this on Amazon, and I have the digital versions on my website as well. And which one should I read? Should I read first? Um, I can tell you the four synopsis, not synopsis, but the four log lines for each one. Purgatory Academy is about heaven, hell, and having 4 years to decide. Chimera Island is about a hidden island striving to find balance. Let's Go Metal Hero is about two siblings who want to turn a robot into a superhero. And Just a Reaper is about a young Grim Reaper trying to keep hell off Earth. And depending on which one of those four sounds the most interesting to you, then that's where you should start. This is not in any dramatic like a Marvel Cinematic Universe or anything. It is a specific story that I had in mind, or I worked on it with Matt, a friend of mine, co-writer. Uh, so whichever is the most interesting to you, then I recommend starting with that one. I have not uploaded all of Just a Reaper on the website yet, so mind that. Like I will as soon as I get complaints. As soon as I get people actually wanting, like contacting me saying, "Hey, can you do this?" Then I'll do it. Other than that, I just gotta go with what makes the most sense to me. Well, what makes the most sense? Which one has the most chapters? Purgatory Academy by far. I think not really the most chapters. Well, yeah, the most chapters and the most pages. I have like, well, book one is just one continuous story, like a one continuous like 114-page story. Book two, it's chapters per se, but I wrote it as one continuous story, but I broke it up into 10 chapters. Um, and each chapter doesn't have a set page count, but they just happen to be more or less of 15 to 20 pages each, uh, usually. And book three, I try to go with a set amount of 20 pages per chapter, and I'm on chapter three of book three right now. So Purgatory Academy is my most, no, is the one that has the most content. Metal Hero is the one with the least amount of content, and from the most to least amount of content is Purgatory Academy, Chimera Island, Purgatory Academy, Just a Reaper, Chimera Island, then Let's Go Metal Hero. So that's like the most amount of chapters to least amount of chapters. So take that as you will. Oh, let's see if I can hatch hatch it to show a little bit more depth. Like right here. So I can separate the trees a little bit more. In your opinion, which one would be better suited as an anime? Dog, they're all written as if they are an anime. Because that's how I go about scripting my comics. I write them as if they are anime. Um, let's see. I can tell Purgatory Academy is the one that would probably have the most edge when it comes to an adapt. Well, actually, no. Just a Reaper will be the one with the most edge of being adapted because it's written so much so, and it's the most refined. Not the most refined, but it is. It's pretty refined to be that because it was written like that by both Matt and I. Let's see. Let's and behind that is Purgatory Academy. Like every time I show it Purgatory Academy to people, they always see it as like something that you would see on Netflix, probably as a live action thing. I would like if I would pitch it to Adult Swim or something. I would like it to be animated. Oh yeah, Matt, like I always think that's the most one. That's one that could be easily adapted to live action. Um, let's see. I always see Let's Go Metal Hero being really good, like doing really good on like early 2000s Cartoon Network, which also means that it won't hit today. It's just I don't think the audience is there anymore, but it was from that era of early 2000s programming, like Ben 10, and I mean I feel like it would probably hit on Disney because Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur was pretty. Yeah, Moon Girl Devil Dinosaur was pretty successful, and Chimera Island. I feel like they're all can be successful anime. I don't think any of them cannot be adaptable because of how I tell the story. Like better suit, like they're all really good. They're all really would be good, best suit as an anime. But if someone came to me saying like, "Yo, Mason, which four would we need to adapt tomorrow to have like the biggest appeal?" I would have to ask them like what does their network want? What fits the brand of their network? Or what fits the brand of their company and what they're trying to do? Because all four of the series are made for completely different audiences. And they're all for completely different audiences technically. And that's by design. Um if you wanted something that tailors to for more like a female girl audience, a female like audience, I would give them Chimera Island. Something that tailors to young boys, I would give them Metal Hero. Something that goes for a unisex audience, I would give them Purgatory Academy. Something that wants to have an Adult Swim angle, like adult male, from let's say 18 to 25 or whatever, I would give them Just a Reaper. So it's and it's mostly because of like that's how I've written all of these stories. So pretty much, like it's saying all of them would have felt like an easy answer, and just leaving it like that. But I think it was more interesting to go in depth of why I would say all of them. Actually, let me do some do something nice. Add some decoration. I always wanted this to feel like maximalist, like organic maximalism in a way. Or maybe instead of having that tree there, like this is how I go about making the layouts, the backgrounds, or the environments of Chimera Island. It's pretty much flowing through the hand or saying like, oh, this looks cool, this looks nice. I can't just completely draw from reality. I want to draw specifically from a point of view of what would make this look nice. And one thing that I notice from doing that approach is that you really have to start from big to small. And that way, when you start with big, you can go with the foreground, do all the details there. But then when you go to something smaller, then that's where you can do other things. That's where you can try to do other things. But where would this be? Oh, maybe I can hide. Like this could be like a guardrail. This can be like one of those gates. Because like the whole point is that I don't want to draw as much as I should. Like how can I hide? How can I hide as much as I can so I can draw as little as possible, and then sell the illusion that there's a lot going on. Hey, Lamai, what's going on? Like I forgot that mode of thinking when it comes to working on this. It's like, yeah, this is a park. Of course, there's gonna be trees in the background, but what can I put in the foreground? Yeah, I can put bushes in the foreground. Yeah, that's nice. But what would be huge? What would be like in people's faces in the foreground when you are at a park? Well, parks are really known for their big open spaces, but when she's walking into a park, she can probably see something like "welcome," a big welcome sign. That'll be over here, and I want like these tubes. I think these tubes are pretty cool, but what are these? They can't be just metal tubes. It's good that they are like curved. That keeps with the uh, the the organic feel, and I might have to like curve out these gates while I'm at it. Probably add them like curve out this, curve these things out, make it look a little bit interesting, right? Aesthetic. If you had a part time voice actor, what would you? Well, yeah, if you had a part time voice actor, what way would you best use their help? If I had a part time voice actor, what way would I use their help? I don't think I need that at the moment. I don't think I don't think it would help. Like, why would I need? I think that question should be answered to get a good question, get a good answer to that question is understanding why would I need one? Why would I need a part time VA? Because through my perspective, I don't need one, and I don't see why it would help if I did have one. Because I did do the dub, the human dub of the chapter 0 of Chimera Island, and that didn't really do numbers in the algorithm. Let's say that's a tree. That's like a layer of tree. That's a layer of tree. This will be a layer of tree. You know what? Maybe I can have some elevation. Maybe do like a cliff, like a Nightmare Before Christmas cliff. The intricacies of the question. Yeah, so yeah, it's very much a like a different question of how would getting a VA improve what I'm doing right now. I'm not negating the fact that cliff. Probably no, that seems dangerous. Like a hit, like a little bit of a hill. Maybe I can just make it a hill, like a plateau. Maybe even have that plateau be a little bit of a walkway as well. Like on that top of that plateau, it can a signal there's another walkway here. Chat, give me things that you would find in a park. This is also why I like live streaming Chimera Island because because I would ask these different questions to the chat of what animal I should draw next, or what would you find in an area like this. So instead of looking at it like that, maybe there can be another tree over here. Or trees on the same plane that she's at that could cover its own part of the skybox. Trash bin, syringes, children parks, sandboxes. Dang. One of those things are not like the other, F in chat. What's going on? What's going on? Trees, cigarette buds. Yo, your place needs some cleaning up, F. That's crazy. Someone gotta check up on your a bench. Okay. Okay. I could probably put a bench up here. Oh, yeah, maybe I can draw like another tree, like the bottom of a blossoming tree over here. So it could give shade. Because I remember, I think I called this park Little Aviera Park. He said it's Finn, not F. But he. Tree bench? Finn changed his name to Fin chat. Finn chat. Tree bench? We already got a bench over here. A little bench. Tiny little bench. Okay, maybe I got an idea. So this is gonna be, this tree's in the foreground. I want this tree to like provide shade to the I want this tree to provide shade. I still don't know how to draw leaves, so it'll just be a lot of what should I call it? Shading going on here. So I wanted to cover this. I don't know how I'm going to. show. Actually, no. I know how I'm gonna show it. I'm just gonna do a different thing. So it's gonna look like this. Put that down. And like it's in like classic fashion, the shade's gonna cover the foreground because it's coming from this tree right here. Right? There's gonna be another tree like that covers the sun, where the sun was supposed to be. Because I want this whole area, this whole foreground, to probably be covered by trees. Like covered by. I want this thing to be covered in shade. So when the people in the park, when they walk past, when they walk through this I forgot what they call this walkway, it will constantly be covered in shade. Use leaf stamps, lol. I'm doing the sketch right now. I'm basically planning everything out because this is what I'm going off of. This is the idea. She's walking to the park right here, and I'm like, all right, there's trees in the background, there's grass, and then she comes here. And when I get to this part of doing the layout, I'm like, all right, now I have to be a little bit more detailed, but not that much. I can't be that detailed yet. I have used leaf stamps before, but not now. I'm not doing that now. And plus, the stamps, they will get muddy. I think I've used it before, but I don't think I'll use it like right now because I'm blocking everything out. I don't know. I might have to see. I have to see what leaf stamps they got. Actually, I'll delete this tree. This tree to like cover that, and then another tree to cover this area right here. But it's outside of the. It's outside. But I guess there's not much to put in the background here other than just a silhouette of other trees. So let's see if I can imagine this. So if I get rid of this, so I won't be distracted too much off of what the last thing looks like. Okay, so this will be the tree in front. I'll probably will use stamps as like the positive space, but not for any of the detailing. I also like it in some anime where when you see characters underneath trees, there are spots where the foliage shine through, like like this, right? It's like, but it's a random pattern. That's probably where it's going to go. So I'm just gonna. Yeah, it's something like this. You guys putting up what you guys picking up what I'm putting down? So this will be like beneath a tree. I don't know what they call it. Beneath the tree, whatever's. Yeah, so it's a little bit like that. Sun peeking through. Yeah. I don't know where I would put the sun actually. If it's high up here, then it'd be like noon. But I think the trees would probably hide it. Let's see how high the trees were gonna be. There we go. And like some silhouettes for probably structures far in the background. And then probably people probably draw something on the hill. Don't know if I can draw anybody on this hill, so I'll just probably do some textures. Well, that's a mess. Where are the judgy soccer moms? You know what? Yeah, okay, that's a good idea. Okay, we can draw some. We can draw some people in the foreground. Guys, give me an animal. Because she is oddly alone here. Horse. Okay. Let's try that. Let's see if I can do a silhouette. I'll just draw the torso. Horse is probably like this. Mouse. I got the ear. Lower body. Let's go straight anthro. Let's go like anthro to save time. I think he probably this. Let's say this. Actually, actually, no. You know what? You know what? I'm gonna draw a horse here. Just taking up space, sitting on the edge, like being a nuisance, just sitting on. You know when you lounge around and then everything's just furniture. And that's what this horse is doing. He's like looking off to the sunset or whatever. It's just I can like a horse probably over here. Probably have some drip on him. Probably ties his hair back. Alright, this is Aviera Park. So I should draw a couple of birds up here. Yeah, maybe I can draw an ostrich up here. I don't know why. He's just like chilling, probably talking to the horse over here. Oh no, like a moose. Yeah, let's do a moose. Yeah, let's do a moose. A cow. I got. This is Aviera Park. I need. Well, actually, no. That's fine. That's fine. This. I mean, at this part in the lore of this part of the island, it's called Harmony. It is pretty much made for amphibians, but because the land is amphibious, it has uh, land areas and sea areas, or not sea, but water areas. That's where you would see the most diversity in a the types of chimeras you will see here. So even though the majority of people here are, in my head canon, the majority of people here are amphibians. It's because of the location. It's because of the what they call it, the environment that attracts everyone else. And because it has the environment to do so, it has a lot of it's also in the economic boom of the entire island. It's pretty much islands. I see them as islands, but I feel like this one has the most population density because of the diverse land and that leads into an economic boom or like an economic hub. So I see cow lady, moose mom. Yeah, that's what this was missing. It was missing more people to flood. I knew she felt it felt a little bit lonely. I probably will draw like a frog or some sort of amphibian walking beside, like walking the opposite way of her. A frog or a toad. Yeah, I'm drawing that right here. I feel like drawing all the non-important animals as silhouettes to show that they're not important. I like to feel like these are kind of branches, very natural looking, or vines. Like nothing can really be too smooth, or it'll break the jungle or naturalistic aesthetic. Okay. Let me go back to drawing this moose. I just need the shape of the head. There we go. No, let me just semi full screen it. Okay, they have a. I noticed. Yeah, moose have a little bit of a hump on their back, huh? And at the base of their neck. Interesting. Interesting. Now, moose are huge, so let me just kind of forget how huge moose are. So let's just have this guy take up a little bit more space. Very interesting head shape. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Maybe I should have gone with the cow. Yeah, these guys are all going to be silhouetted out. While I will try to like emphasize Ruth, like right here. Yeah, it's very busy. So yeah. I'm just gonna keep drawing the veins. Have the idea of that. Okay, so that's pretty much cool. I feel like that's fine. I think I've done this shot before, so let me just copy and paste what I've did. Yeah, I'll just copy this one. Like, this is pretty much the aesthetic I'm trying to go for. I'll have to learn how to. I'll have to learn to be a little bit clean, a little cleaner, so I can match the aesthetic. Like, so yeah, reuse any way, like in every way you can. It saves us so much time. Oh yeah, I did use like this type of hatching when it came to environments. Let's see, compared. Okay. Nice tree, thank you. Hmm. I noticed that like a lot of their trees kind of look like molehills. A lot of their not trees, but a lot of their I said trees. Their buildings kind of look like molehills. Like they took a chunk of earth and they built around it. So I feel like a lot of interiors would kind of look like a. To me, they kind of would look like a tunnels. The insides would feel like tunnels. While you would have a lot of overgrowth, a lot of growth coming from it, like trees and foliage and such. Tunnels are sometimes cozy. Yeah. let's see. Like I said, a lot of this design is very impromptu. Maybe I can draw another tree. And the trees over here, they are also like homes to like woodland critters as well. It really is a slum when you think about it, but it's very beautiful to look at because it's there's so much design and elements that harkens or invokes nature. Like I feel like this is like an animal version of those China cities in Hong Kong movies where there is just so much things stacked against each other. But this one's like kind of. I feel like it's kind of like the areas in Chimera Island are kind of like that. Where, but there's when there's like buildings, it's very tight, and then you would have open spaces. It's kind of like I want to imagine how the whole design philosophy is that they want the residents, the denizens of the island to be outside as much as possible. Home is only for rest and intimacy. Like you feel way more. You're most supposed to feel way more comfortable outside than inside. Which is I don't. I wonder if that's how animals really feel. Like I probably they probably don't. I feel like when they're outside, they feel like a predator is gonna kill them in any moment. Beehive residences. Ah, shucks. Beehive residences. Are you talking about like beehives are kind of like that? Okay, I'm kind of bored. Kind of like that. Yeah. Okay, okay, okay. Now let's see. Alright, I think I messed up on the bottom one because there's so much foreground. It's very claustrophobic. I think there's too many people in the foreground. Let's get rid of this moose. Let's keep the plateau. The plateau is going to be above the horse. And let's invoke a continuation of the path like this. Maybe since that's like in the background. It's all stacked tall ass buildings and ultra optimized. I kind of want that. Yeah, I kind of want that in Chimera Island, where if you put like human architecture, where it's like if you put human architecture in it, it looks dystopian, but because there's so much elements that invoke nature, it looks beautiful. It looks beautiful. I want to kind of invoke something like that. I'll just put like I'll make this grass. USSR, but Nate, but with nature. Yeah. Okay. I think this is fine. I think this is fine for right now. For right now, kind of don't know about it. Okay, I'll get rid of this tree actually, and the foreground tree will be over here, covering this part. So the tree next to it would be over here, where the horse is kind of covering the branches, but the horse is like there to kind of make it feel like there's more people here. I could put somebody in the foreground here, but like I said, that would just be kind of busy, and you won't really have a peak of the larger landscape. I want this area. I wonder if I can get a different color because I said to monochrome. I want this area to be to have a little peak of a vast landscape to make it feel like there's a lot more going on, but there's so much things in the foreground that makes it look like it has more depth. You know what I mean? Peak. Wait. What's peak? What did I say? Okay, let's not cover Ruth and Shadow. If anything, there's so much going on. She's basically Waldo right now. No, let's give this horse. Yeah, let's cover this horse in shadow as well. These birds in shadow. So let's see if I can delete everything here and see if I can. In what way? See, it looks a lot more. There's a lot more space to work with, right? You know what I mean? So if I try to reimagine what's going on here, if I try to reimagine what's going on in this area, and like everything that I draw in this area is going to be oh, shoot, wrong one. It needs to be small. It needs to be small to invoke something that's probably big. So I have to think about that. I think leaving some space to breathe helps the focus. Hmm. I think you're actually right. Instead of thinking like what can I put in here, I can think what can I think the less that I add, I need to add something. So I think like what can I add? That can be maybe a skyline. Like, what can I add? That invokes depth. Or I can draw the sky here. Like drawing clouds. You know? Hmm. If I can. A tree, sky, or a pond. Hmm. Tr- okay, let's try tree. No, let's try sky first. So if I try sky, um, it makes it look like if I just draw clouds in the sky, it makes it look like they're elevated. Like you don't really have a good reference of where this ground is. So it also kind of doesn't help that there's like there's this mesh, this or like this mesh that's covering where the ground is. So if I have like some elevated, that's why the tree kind of looked, not the tree, but the plateau or the elevated land looks interesting because okay, stupid horse, how can I work with you? The elevated land looked interesting because okay, let's actually go against the flow of this thing, this bench right here. See if I can go against the flow of the bench. I feel like Bob Ross. I feel like if I go against the flow of this bench, and then I can probably draw like symbols of trees, like right here. Let's see what kind of tree would this like. Okay, so let's put a tree here. Or like another tree here. Yeah. Yeah. Actually, you're right. A pond. So if I add like a little bit of, if I add like some water right here. Hmm. Yeah, I like that idea. So if I add like a little pond on this area, probably add a tree right here, something right here, a very small tree. Or maybe I can just leave that be. Ah, but that's not, that land's not pretty leveled. Kind of doesn't make any sense. So tree. Probably add some birds right here. That's pretty good. Let's fix some of this. Hmm. And that's a weird thing. It's okay. So this is why it doesn't work because it has two vanishing points. It not vanishing point. It has two. Okay, I can't add. I can't add that there. It can be land, but it can't be sea. It can't be water because the what's the vanishing points down here. It's a very low angled shot. Like the elevated land is fine because because elevated land it's hills. It's a hilltop, not hilltops, but yeah, let's make it a hilltop. Like they didn't even bother renovating or leveling the park. It's a hilly. It's a hilly place. I think that's fine. And then I can draw like a skyline of trees back here. Okay, that's a lot. That's good. That's satisfactory. Goodness gracious. Good grief. Good grief. All right. What else? Good background. Good background. Da 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 da. And with this one, I know. Actually, let me take that 15-minute break. I think I've earned it. Golly gee. Wait, where's my? Ah, there should be. I mean, it's nice. uh, that sounds patronizing. No, but I appreciate it. Clock. It's nice. I mean, it's nice, I guess. It's nice, question mark. 15. Uh, don't be so harsh on yourself as a background. Nah, I'm just joking. As long as it gets the job done of so many things in the foreground to distract the audience that I don't really want to think about the entire thing. I think that's fine. I think what I did here is alright. It's gotta be good enough. And then after this, one, two, three, four, five, six. One, two, three. So how many panels are in this light? Okay, so one, two, three, four, five. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So, like, this is gonna be easy because it's just one. It's just one drawing with Ruth on separate. Ruth on separate. Whatchamacallit, doing separate things. Because on this panel, she found a spot to wait for Sarah, but she's conflicting. She's conflicted about like if Sarah's going to see her. But then she gets distracted, saying like, "Oh wait, I know those people over there." I liked it spacious though. Some I liked it spacious though. Symbolistic scene composition is the most effective and efficient background storytelling IMO. So you're saying it would be better if I just didn't draw a background? Not a background, but anything back here. Because it did look a little. It did look interesting. Like if maybe if I just replaced it with. Let me just copy this, right? So if I copied it to make it look like this, right? And I added, let's say, a gradient to make it look like the sky, and I just added like bam, bam, and chicken and ham, like very, very lazy sky like this. Oh, hey, that looks good. Hey, look at that! Look at that! It's like Pulp Fiction. What's in the bag? Bag, suitcase. So, which will it be? Skyline or elevated ground? Skyline or elevated ground? Actually, I might stick with Skyline. It's not busy. Yeah, there is more stuff going on here. What is the horse looking at? What is he thinking? I don't know. What makes you think about it? Yeah. And that's cool. Okay. All right, we're keeping it like this. Okay, so man, I'm still freaking. It's like got 10 more minutes left of the break, and look at me doing revisions. Look at me doing revisions. Like I need to have a conversation about something. There needs to be a topic that I can talk about and spit for just 10 minutes. Have you ever joined a manga competition? No, I don't join competitions unless I know I'm going to win. I don't join competitions unless I know I'm going to win. 10-minute recipes. Hey, we got grilled cheese sandwiches. We got boiled eggs, right? That's another 10-minute. How would you know? There was a beans on toast. Yeah, there was a. Huh. I need some water. My throat is dry. But usually I would know based off of what won previously. What do the judges like? And yeah, what won previously? What do the judges like? And if I know I can naturally hit their points, their what they're looking for. And a lot of contests are just a waste of time. I don't really see myself winning contests like that because I know that people are just naturally better than me. And if I can't constantly gauge of like what everybody else is doing, when I say a contest, I want to see. I view it like as sports, where, or like some sort of sport where you can gauge what your competition is doing, and not just join being like, I hope I win. I gotta try my best and I hope I win. Like, no, I want to win. It's like I don't try out. I do it because I know I'm going to win. Like, you know what I mean? If you know you, yeah, if you know you can tackle the judges' sensitive points, yeah. If you know what you can do, if you know that you can hit certain points that the judges like, then I would go in and be like, okay, I know an easy bag. But if I'm not, if I'm going in just shooting at the dark, hoping that people will like my vibe, nah, I don't like that. No, I don't like that at all. Especially knowing who the judges are and what went before. And if you look at some writing competitions and you see what won before, and it's like, I don't know, lesbian cowgirls in space fighting homophobia or transphobia or whatever, you're like, yeah, I'm not doing this. This is lame. Like, I remember I was doing Matt. He was trying to enter a writing competition, and there was like some ridiculous, weird premise like that won, and that made me think if stuff like that wins, then I wouldn't touch competition. I wouldn't touch a writing competition with a 10-foot pole at all. And plus, there's not a lot of manga competitions around me. And I don't really want to sign up to be a mangaka because, no, absolutely not. I'm not putting myself under those conditions just for a chance to make a good enough living. I would take my chances of learning marketing and be unstoppable without a corporation telling me to call it quits. That's quite specific. It was something of that ilk. It was something that ridiculous that I didn't want to. I think I told Matt that if he was going to send the the manuscript of Just a Reaper to a competition like that, you're not gonna hear anything from it. We're probably gonna. I think he did, and we went in the top 40. We went to the top 40, but I was like, yeah, we're not gonna win anything from that because these people just want absolute garbage. Like we give them gems, and they're looking for garbage. And that usually what pissed me off because I actually believe in what I make. I don't make things because I find them fun. I make things because I see value in them. Because I want other people to pick up on the messages that I put down on paper. So when I put something as valuable within my stories, and then people say, "Oh, yeah, it's not as good as Jujutsu Kaisen number 52, Jujutsu Kaisen wannabe number 67." I'm like, no, yeah, you can hold that bag. You can hold whatever you want. I don't want to be anywhere near it. Like the last competition that I really was serious about was the Adult Swim competition. That was literally the last competition that I was actually serious about doing. And I did it because I saw the competition, I saw what won, and I saw how to pitch. I learned from everybody else, and I applied what I've learned. And it wasn't perfect for my first go around, but I was way better than 90% of the people that went on there. And plus, it helps that I talk to the people one on one because I'm naturally charismatic. Manga contracts are worse than the music industry. Yes. Piracy versus mangaka, low wages in Japan. Are you into the controversy? That Japan is cracking down on like the West or something because too many people are pirating their manga. Is that what you're talking about? Like I kind of don't care. That's unfortunate. That's very unfortunate because entertainment, soft power is Japan's number one. Pretty much, I don't know if it is, but it's very high up there when it comes to their GDP. And plus, soft power is super powerful. It is influence of the masses overseas. Does your YouTube studio give you new inspiration feature where AI gives you video ideas? Yeah, it does. I don't want. I hate these videos. I hate making videos. Shout out to Comic Ken. He can do it. I can't. He does things that I cannot. Maybe I can. Maybe I can start making videos again because I have a better PC, and maybe it'll be less of a slog. Let me check out my YouTube. Let me check my YouTube studio and see what AI. See what AI recommendations they want me to do for my lovely audience. Let's see, where is it? Analytics, content, inspiration. It's working on it. It's working on it. Okay, here it is. One says, is Chimera Island too similar to Hunter x Hunter? Addressing audience comparisons. I have no audience. Fixing comic marketing strategy using Linux tools and local open source AI. That's super niche to the point where I'm like, who is actually looking forward to doing that? Why One Piece needs a definitive ending to cement narrative legacy. I think I already made that video. Why modern entertainment feels empty and how to find meaning in creation. I don't think I would click on that. Live scanning vintage textures to give digital comic panels a traditional aesthetic. I don't know. The technical struggle of migrating an entire webcomic production pipeline to open source. That's just words. Those are just words. Let's read six more. Designing demonic pests, a deep dive into Purgatory Academy lore and mechanics. That's not how it. Maybe for Just a Reaper, but not Purgatory Academy. And when I designed demons for Purgatory Academy, it's just kit bashing different organic limbs onto a thing. It's basically Spore. Like demons, like the designs of demons in Just a Reaper are pretty much Spore designs. Recovering corrupted comic files while explaining my philosophy on digital ownership. I don't care. Why mainstream RPG design is failing the next generation of creative storytelling. That's just word salad. The animation grind, breaking down every hour spent on Summer's Dream. That is a very old animation. That actually the last animation that I worked on, like years ago, that made me decide to not work on animation anymore. Turning your random comment questions into surreal manga panels live on stream. I'm not doing that. My brutal technical troubleshooting guide for running creative software on non-standard Linux. That's another word salad. That's just that's just another, like that's another word. I'm like that's oh my gosh. I'm like those are just words. Speak English. That's not English. Those are words. Chimera Island be like Shigo Gujanken. Yeah, it is like that. Anyway, that's it's up. My 15 minutes are up. Time for another hour of drawing. And then I'm gonna make some food. Make some rice with ground turkey. With several vegetables. Oh, the rock, paper, scissors of gone. Okay. Okay. I love AI word salad. It makes me feel smart. But yeah, I don't know. Nope. I'm not doing any of that. Turkey sandwich with mustard and onions. I'm not a big fan of mustard, but the mustard and onions sounds interesting. It does sound interesting. Alright, how do I flip this? Make Mason reactive videos to artists and writers far below your skill set and roast them. Who am I? Coffee Comics? Who am I? Why would I bully people? I don't need to do that. Besides, it really doesn't matter. Like I think one of the black pills of being in the creative space is seeing people that have terrible writing advice do infinitely better than you are. The internet would love you. No. I feel like the first thing that came to my mind is people who want fame are mentally ill until you fail like Andrew Tate. I think people who actually want to do things outside of their personality, or they want to exaggerate their personality to be liked on the internet, that should be a sign of some sort of mental illness. because I really don't want to be famous. I do this because I think this is what I should do to be on to be where I need to be. And plus, this I will honestly the reason why I'm another reason why I'm on the camera is because I make all these sporadic movements already. One, two, three. So you want notoriety over fame? I want people. Yeah, I want my comics to have notoriety. I don't know which comes first. I really don't know which comes first, honestly. As long as I have people engaging with my comic content, not my content, I'm happy. Like if let's say one of my comics goes like to the moon, to the stratosphere, if I get like so much money just by people engaging with the comic and nobody knows who the heck I am, I'm happy. I'm so freaking happy for that. That's like my ideal dream. I don't know how Stephen King looks, so I get it. Yeah. Like, that's what I want. Like, the only time I would hear Stephen King, I don't think I read a single book of his. The only time I would hear about Stephen King is if he said something idiot, like stupid on the internet. And that's about it. Wait a second. Wait a segment. Wait a sigma. Did you read writing by him? No. It had no adv- It had no advice. Writing by him. Wait. Oh. Stephen King writing. Oh. I I think I saw some interviews of Stephen King of how his process of writing, and it pisses me off. Like he, like isn't he just a cokehead that writes by the seat of his pants in his payday in his prime? I think I saw one interview that he was on where he did the throw up motion when it came to structure and storytelling. And I'm like, this guy, yeah, I get. I don't. I want nothing to do with this guy. Like, it's annoying. That's gross. Like he just writes because he wants people. He wants to make a roller coaster. He's not really trying to say anything. I remember. I don't remember who gifted me Save the Cat. I don't know if it was you, Lewis, or somebody else. But I remember when I was reading Save the Cat, I felt insulted. When I was I felt insulted when I was reading it. I felt insulted that somebody gifted it to me. Okay, you did. Yeah, okay. I low key felt insulted, like while reading it, like because there were several parts that just felt like, oh my god. There are several parts if I'm trying to remember. One was coming up with concepts, like writing concepts for scripts. That was, it just felt like he was making up AI prompts before AI. One thing I did like about it, about like the book, is enforcing the idea that every story that you've seen has already been told before. Uh, yeah, like every story has been seen has already been told before. The beat it out segment of the book, that's great. Things like writing techniques like Pope in the pool, that's great. But coming up with concepts, coming up with story, the title, the story, it was lame. It was just not good. Mostly because if I remember from what I if I remember from what I read, it was just Mad Libs. I like the way he names and explains genre. Yeah, I can't remember too much about that. I think I agreed with it, therefore I didn't. I agreed with it to the point where I just didn't even remember it. Hmm. But if there was anything else, what was else? Oh yeah, and the end was kind of insulting of how to get buddy cop, the Golden Fleece, etc. McGuff. Okay, yeah. I remember the ending was kind of insulting. I guess it's just dated, if anything, of get how to break in to the writing business in Hollywood, because he does end it off with "It's just luck." And even when he was writing it, he said, "Yeah, times are changing. Even when I write it, thanks to the internet, everything's kind of crazy." So even he kind of like acknowledges how nothing, like he really doesn't know. So he had that ending part just to probably put his 2 cents out there. Bakuman said it's luck. I really don't like that people say it's luck. I feel like people say it's luck is kind of like a god of the gaps type of phrasing. You're a gambler. I don't like that because it's pretty much a god of the gaps type of thing. Because they people say it's luck because they know people are uncomfortable saying I don't know. Like people can just say I don't know how I got here. But saying it's luck, it's like what thanks, I guess. You're a gambler. Like everyone's a gambler. Like literally everyone's a gambler. You're saying nothing. It's it would be infinitely better for people to say I just don't know. I don't know how I got here. I have an agent. I met that agent through X, Y, and Z. If somebody wants to do this, you should look into doing this. But everyone's positions in life is different. So the best thing that you can do is go out in the world and surround yourself with people who are like minded to make things happen, to supercharge that ability. I prefer the I don't know answer. Yes. People say it's luck. I'm like, well, you don't know how you got to your position. Cuz like that's the thing that connects my mind. That's the when I hear that phrase, you don't know just comes out the other ear. I don't know, it just comes out the other ear. Or in my experienced answers. Yeah, imagine like oh my gosh. It's imagine if someone asked Michael Jackson like, "Yo, how'd you get here?" and he's like, "It's luck." I'm like, we can go through the like Michael Jackson's entire history, like you know what I mean, of him being live, every documentation of how his father groomed him to be the guy who he is, everything that he did in the past. He didn't wake up and just like you're a star now. It was a lot of things that had to align in place, and not a lot of people could get to where he is at because not a lot of people had that foundation. He had that foundation. He had that people around him. But nowadays, when people say it's luck, I'm like, okay, you don't know. Just buy, buy, and if something that it's more interesting. It's better for people to say this is what worked for me, and most likely not work for you because we don't have the same situation. For example, Comet Ken. He's probably gonna be on. He's probably on the fast track of like getting like 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year. That might happen, right? And if he says it's just like if he says it's just luck, that's not true. That is just not true. Because he has skill sets that I don't have. 10K, I was like 100K. Let's just say for the sake of the matter 100K, right? He could have like 100K by the end of the month. Like something just he just makes banger after banger after banger. And if he says, "Oh yeah, I just started making videos and I just for like months straight, for like 8 months straight, and it just got caught on. You just need one more video," as a lot of people say. No, that can't work out for people like me because I do not have the skill of making engaging videos. I do not. Yeah, I just do not have the skill of making engaging videos. I cannot look at my old videos and say, "How can I make this better?" I do not have the network to do what Comet can do naturally. He has a talent for that. He has an eye for that. I don't. I have to excel somewhere else. So, with that being said, yeah, yes, with that being said, save the cat. It's not final chapter saying it's all about luck. Nah. No. No. You can trace something back. You can probably give general advice, but the thing about success is that you can't. There's no one way. It's so liquid that there is no one way to get to where you need to go, and that is what I've learned. That's one of the first things that I've learned as being an adult, right? The cool thing about being an adult is equally the worst thing about being an adult, where there is no one way to do a thing, and nobody can really help you with getting there. I don't think, actually, no. I'll just say this there's no one way of doing something. There was another one, but I kind of forgot. It wasn't. Yeah, people can't tell you what to do, right? No safeguards. Yeah, that too. It comes within the idea of no safeguards. As soon as you become an adult, people stop telling you what to do. And that's like the best and worst thing to ever happen to you. Because when you go off of being under the guardianship of your parents, they tell you what to do, what's good and what's bad. When you're in school, they tell you what's good and what's bad. Amy, what's going on? Welcome to the chat. Your parents tell you what's good and what's bad. Your school tells you what to do within these time frames. Even when you're in college, they kind of give you more leeway of controlling your own schedule, but you still have set tasks to do. But as soon as you're outside of that, when you're an adult, when you're out in the field, no one can really tell you what to do. And the only thing that they tell you what to do is don't go to jail, don't break the law. That's it. Anything else, it's up to you. And that is the best thing and the worst thing that happens to everybody. So that's one of the weird things. So when it comes to success, yeah, there's no one way to do it. Stay in school. I wouldn't even say that. If you have no purpose to being in there, then don't stay. Like my caveat is if you don't have the purpose to be there, don't stay. Like I don't like I said I guess for another instance what's his name? What's his name? Dang. Young Wavy. He dropped out of high school, and because he knows what to do. He studied what to do within his field, what is within his interest. He knows how to make money from it, and he's spending his youth, his energy, pursuing that with the copious amounts of information that he has on the internet and the drive to make something work. And that is something that school cannot provide to him. YouTube chat jumped to 8 for a moment. Yeah, I feel like I should just stream later, but that's just not good for my health. I really don't feel like that's good for my health. Wait, where are these people? Where are these people coming from? As long as I'm not being view botted, that's all right. I wonder how many people are coming in from who are following me from Facebook. I had got Ty Lopez 67 Steps program. If you know, you know. Oh yeah, Ty Lopez. But anyhow, he had a lesson about pace, meaning practical, action, social, and emotional, and he teaches in that order that would arrange for your personality. For example, he says he's an apes. Action one, practical second, social third, emotional last. What are you? I think I'm. I feel like 1 and 2. Yeah, I'm action, practical, emotional, and then social. I think I'm like that. Maybe. Because I think about how I approach my ads. I'm the type of guy to do something first and then improve on it later. So that shows action first, and then the improvement later comes from the practical and emotional. So you're built for this ish, yeah. Yeah, so I act first just to know that I can do it, and then I improve later. And when I know I can't improve, then I have to go somewhere where I can. I take inventory with what I can do, and then I go somewhere else where I can excel. That's why Facebook does well for me because I know I can repurpose content, and Facebook seems like a place where that fits what I can do. I just need to make sure I post whatever I need to do every day. I mean, I've been posting like 12 posts every. Like I said, I've been posting a lot, but maybe I can like calm down a little bit this week because, well, I don't know. The more you post, the more likely you'll get more views. Because like the more you post, the more views you'll get, and the more views I get, the more likelihood it'll be shown to more people who will uh, engage with it and push it in the algorithm, so I can get more people. I don't know. You're more in your head, so you're emotional, practical, action, and social. I hate that action is so far down the line. I think everybody's action is so far down the line, and that's why they don't really do this. Like, and that's why you don't really do this. A lot of people don't really do this. Yeah, because for me, I think I'm sticking to this, even though it's been taking so long to make it work, is because for half my life, let's just say for half my life, this is probably in the minority of my life, but I remember spending so much of my time trying to do things for other people. So when it, so for now, if I do this for myself and I give up, I don't think it would be fair at all to myself. Like giving up on comics, I don't think that would be fair to me because this kind of expression is important to me. Storytelling is important to me, and if I just let that go, just to give somebody else my time and my life again, like I did for like the first chapter of my life, I don't think that's fair to me, like at all. And that's why I'm watching you do it, LMAO, and not doing it myself. I need to write. I mean, what's more important is figuring out. Yeah. Well, first you need to have a finished product. Then you can focus on uh, marketing. Just go head first in marketing it. Repurpose what you have. Find out what avenues you want to break, and how you can get more and more people into engaging with what you have to create. Like if you have at least one finished product, then you can go into full blown marketing mode. But while you're working on that product, I heavily advise you document it, the creation of it, so you can turn that into promotional content to get people to know about it. I think I said this before, but I do remember watching a Rebel Taxi interview with Peter Chung, and Peter Chung said something that rewired my brain chemistry, and he said something along the lines of the difference between working on TV and working on movies is that on movies you only see 20% of the effort. And 80% of the effort is either thrown away or a little bit of that effort gets shown on behind the scenes on the bonus content or art books or just special features, right? That's like 80% of the effort. And a small percent of that effort is something that you get to see. The rest just gets thrown away. All on TV, most of what you see gets reused. Even look at the promos that you see on like a Cartoon Network or whatever. You see reused animation to make it into new content because animation is so expensive on a TV budget, even more so. So they're going to try to get as much out of it as possible, and that's why syndication is also a really big thing. Like even when the product is done, they will do their best to have reruns and try to make money off of that finished product. So you have to think like you're airing TV, because a lot of people have the mindset of they're making a movie. They do it and then they're done and then they're working on the next thing, which they need to have the mindset of they're working on a TV show. Not working on a TV show, but they're promoting it like a TV network. I mean, where if you have something done, then you have to promote it again and again and again until it makes sense to make another season or another book. You can't put all of your efforts into the opening night and then try to make people care, like get as much people to care to have one night of success, and then have that one night of success to fund the next book, and then rinse and repeat. No, you have to have that. Once you have that finished book, you gotta syndicate that until the entire world knows, until the entire world gives you money just by putting their eyeballs on it. That's what I noticed when it comes to the indie creating space. And there are some avenues that allows that kind of promotion more than others. So that's why I'm doing what I do, and that's why I can't really work on videos talking about, hey, this is the lore, this is what I'm doing, this is like da 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 da. I can't do that. I just can't do that. I'm like, I made this. Look at it. I made this. Look at it. I go live. If you read it, then talk to me about it. Talk to me what you like about it. Talk to me what you hate about it. And when I go live, I'm going to clip those. I'm going to clip the live stream, and then just run that on run those live stream clips on syndication, so more people can find the live. And when I say something scandalous, more people will come back here and say, "Hey, you said this. I hate that. I like that. I like you." Da 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 da. And then you just build up content. And I know that artsy people hate that word, but it is where we are. We're building engagement for people to like what we make, what we have in our library, so we can fund future endeavors. That's my mindset of it. And I can't be practical about that. Because when you're practical about that, then you shouldn't start. Say something scandalous right now. About what? Give us a hot take. About what? I need a topic. Like, all my books are about giving hot takes, and I use characters to argue for and against that hot take. Like, if you don't have a hot take, then you have no business writing. Anime, not One Piece. A lot of anime's not really worth anyone's time anymore. Anime, not One Piece. Like, yo, like, a lot of anime is not worth the time to watch anymore. It's I think the last one anime that I'm watching right now is Ghost in a Shell. And the thing that I think it's interesting because of the just the creation about it, the story around the creation of that anime of Ghost in the Shell, of how a lot of people. Okay, fine, we're not talking about that. Okay, what about webtoons? No one cares about webtoons. Everybody knows webtoons is a waste of time. Okay, what about race? What about race? Yeah, I think America should be should I think what was it? The thing about race. What was it? I'm thinking about the Great Replacement theory. I think that's true, and I think America will be better if it was majority white, because the people who don't want to make it majority white are pretty malicious people. Are malicious people. That's pretty much it. I don't even know how hot that take is, right? It's so weird about race because, like, you don't know, like, depending on who your audience is. I don't even really know my audience that much. Well, you're black, so I guess that's a hot take to you. I'm just judging by your icon. But yeah, I feel like that's a hot take. Depending on the audience, I think that's pretty much a hot take. And it's like, it's not, well, here's the thing. Like, the weird thing about that is, like, white people are, like, orchestrating their own downfall in their own civilizations. And you can say that it's like it is a Trojan horse from a group of people that really want to be white when it's convenient. like opening the Trojan horse for all of this progressivism. But I think it's because a loss of identity, a loss of religion. Well, not just religion, Christianity. That's cornerstone. Actually, no. Actually, yeah. Well, if it felt that loss of cornerstone of Christianity is ruining everything. So secularism just really one-shotted Western civilization. A hot take is that the U.S. should go back to God and country. Man, in my circle of the internet, that's just a no-brainer. Actually, I don't know. Like I said, you really got to know your audience for that. Like if I go to like a nerd convention, if I say this so many times and I get so people that want to kill me. Like every time I go to a nerd convention, usually like a black nerd convention, and they say, Mason, what's your hot take in anime? And I'm like, anime is like the worst place. Well, Japanese have like a terrible understanding of racism narratives. And black people will eat up the most disgusting and lame excuse for racial narratives in anime, and they will eat that up because it's talking about racism. Case in point, Metaphor Refantasio. It is such a terrible, and when it comes to talking about class and race relations, it falls on its face so much because it fears talking about why people are prejudiced against another race. They just say it happens and it's bad. Don't think about it. And it's like that because the writers want to focus on something that's other than the racial tensions. And you can do that with the same when it comes to B-Stars. I mean, people who watch B-Stars, they don't care about the racial tensions at all. They have ulterior motives when it comes to stuff like that. Oh yeah, and free speech isn't good. Free speech is dumb. It's a mistake. It was a mistake. Both black and white Americans are victims of Trojan horses, yeah. Mason is a flat earther, I knew it. No. Nah. Dang it, look at you, Lewis. Asking me about my hot takes. Asking me about my hot takes made me lose a watcher. Dang. Oh well. Amy Woe edits. That's interesting. Like, how did she get here? Anyway. Like, I don't even want to be edgy, right? Beastar's manga did not have a true answer for the question. They need a neutral third party to say they can eat fish. Dude, freaking... No, Beastars did have an answer. No, you know what's funny? Beastars did have an answer. And it was like in the middle of the whatchamacallit. It was during, I think it was one of the instances where a student got eaten and the principal was like, okay, we got to separate the herbivores from the carnivores. That was the answer. But all the students were retards and saying, no, I like my herbivore friends. I have carnivore friends. We got to be together. When at the beginning of the story, everyone's like, oh yeah, herbivores, like carnivores eating herbivores. Everybody's gotten so used to it to the point that they are like, oh yeah, it just happens. And everybody knows that's not a good thing, but everyone's like, oh yeah, I guess it happens. They even have all these like dynamics of herbivores and carnivores and how like transgressive it is. Like when Aharu got into college, when she had like a bunny friend, like a herbivore friend that had a carnivore boyfriend, and that carnivore boyfriend ate her, and everyone's like, "Oh yeah, I guess that's crazy." So like earlier in that manga, and they were like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna separate herbivores from carnivores. We're gonna have different schools. We're gonna separate them. We're gonna segregate them because y'all don't know how to act together." And everyone's like, "No, don't separate us." And then the the principal or whatever, like, "All right, I guess you guys are gonna be set. Guys are gonna be put together again." And I was like, "No, this is the answer because these people don't know how to act." But of course, they couldn't do that because in the modern day, is always bad, even though everybody knows the consequences of of forced integration. But the manga probably didn't want to look like a freaking clan member, so I see why she did what she did. Any hot takes? Was that a hot take? I don't know. Lewis says you should play. You should have played it PC. Oh, you mean I should have played it politically correct? Oh well. Oh well. Oh well. Dude, I'm telling you, I don't have any hope. I really don't have any hope for making it on YouTube at all. It's like over. It's literally over. The sea creatures embraced the chaos. They ate each other. They ate each other and accepted it as a fact of life. But they knew the land animals could not accept that. So the sea creatures said you could eat us instead. Yeah, it's too late for PC. Like that's what a cop out. What a cop out. Yeah. I've read the manga. I know how it ends. It was a cop out. It was unsatisfactory. That was Beastar's a cop out. Chaotic neutral. It's like we embrace the chaos. I'm like, should no. That you know what's so crazy about that? It's like they embrace the chaos. So are you saying that the land animals should embrace the chaos because the land animals are taking advantage of the sea animals embracing chaos? So what are we doing here? Are you guys saying that we should take advantage of other people's good nature so we can survive, so we can be predators of other people's good nature or other people's not their good nature or of their default nature because we don't know how to change ourselves, even in a story that wants to talk about changing for equality, right? Let's just say equality, for people should treat each other as equally. So the answer is let's go prey upon people who already accepted that they're going to. That's crazy. Yes, the animals wanted the land animals to accept their nature, not accept like that. What do you mean? Like when I read that, I that could you got to be a little bit more verbose because I read that in three completely different ways. It's like yes, the sea animals wanted the land animals to accept their nature. Who's the it that changes based on who their nature means. Because I saw it as you, yeah, you gotta. Can you be a little bit more verbose about that? Because I can read that in two opposite ways. Accept the nature of the fish, or accept the nature of animals that herbivores and carnivores need to eat each other. and that's how it is. Also, that's a reason. Embrace the chaos. Okay. Yeah, but they didn't really. They copped. Yeah, they didn't really. They copped out. Ending a series seems harder than stretching far past its origin, i.e., Dragon Ball. LOL, the universe isn't enough. So let's go to the next dimension, alternate timeline, i.e., Marvel's Adventures. Well, I can tell Toriyama. Well, you can tell that Toriyama didn't want like Toriyama. If Dragon Ball went completely the way that Toriyama wanted, it would be a way more goofy series. It would probably be like another Doctor Slump, a more action oriented Doctor Slump, comedy focus. It was really the editor that made people love the aura farming and hype moments. Like that's all the editor. So it makes sense where to a point where Toriyama just saw Dragon Ball as just another job. Hot take, but I was kind of annoyed when after Toriyama died and everybody was making videos saying how much Dragon Ball meant to them. You know what I mean? After a while, I got tired of that real quick because it just felt like everybody monetizing his death. It's like, you know what I mean? It just felt like everybody was monetizing his death and wanted a reason to talk about Dragon Ball for the algorithm. And I got so tired of the internet. Like Dragon Ball meant so much to me. Here's a 20-minute video of my first time watching Dragon Ball, of how I watched it. It made me get into drawing. I'm like, okay, that's great, buddy. Like, so glad you said this after the man's dead. So glad you said this after he died. You know, like I know it might not be as cynical as I saw it. You know what I mean? As I see it, but man, that was just not a good day to be on the internet. Same with Michael Jackson. I don't like I was barely forming memories when Michael Jackson passed. That was like what, 2009? Like I can't remember what I was doing in 2009. I do remember those getting those Michael Jackson sounds on your phone if you dialed a certain number. I do remember that. Crazy enough. Get your Michael Jackson ringtone. If you dial this number, this toll free number, you meant the milking. Yeah, I mean that also goes into the milking of. That's a crazy sentence I was about to say. I remember people crying. Some people crying. Yeah, I wasn't. Dude, I was probably playing Super Mario Sunshine when when Michael Jackson died. Like when I first heard it, I was probably playing video games, and I was like, "Oh, Michael Jackson died. Oh, who's he? Oh, he made music. Okay." Like that was probably my dramatized reaction after hearing Michael Jackson's death in 2009, and everybody was like, "Oh man, it's sad. We lost a real one." And I'm like, "Okay, don't people die?" I was so confused. I was like, don't people die? Isn't that what they do?" It's like why did he die? It was like and the news went out that he died. It's like, oh, so he okay. Yeah, he was basically murdered. Oh, that's unfortunate. Like I just did not have that tie to Michael Jackson. I don't. Also, I think it's also because my parents didn't play that much music other than gospel. Like, yeah, there was Michael Jackson there, but I guess he was a big musician at the time. But I guess he was a big musician at the time. But I was not listening to music at all. If I knew my interests at the time, it was not listening to music. It was looking at what was on Cartoon Network, Disney Channel, and Nickelodeon. A cycle of those three channels. And when that news broke, I was like, oh, who's he? Oh, he made songs? Oh, that's a cool song. Anyway, let's see what's on Camp Lazlo. You know, I want to see the next episode of Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. But I'm sure that was it. My parents only played gospel, but I heard him in jokes about him. Yeah, I remember the Michael Jackson jokes. And I was like, oh yeah, I remember everybody making the Michael Jackson jokes. And in hindsight, it's so crazy how the media can make people just can just internalize lies like that. It's so interesting. The propaganda on that man against that man was crazy. And that's one of the main reasons why I treat that reporter in the Batman game, the way that I do. Because I'm like, yo, you never trust a reporter. Ever. Ever. Reporters are scum. Forever. For now and forever. Yeah, but they really messed up that man's legacy. And I guess another hot take. I don't know how hot it is, but I did like the Michael Jackson movie. I know everybody was probably expecting me to hate it, but narratively, I thought the movie was pretty solid. I know everybody was probably expecting a no, I don't think anybody was the main critical the main critical thoughts that I've heard against the Michael Jackson movie was that it's another commodification or of somebody's life story that it's made to be a product for their catalog more than a documentary of or an entertaining documentary of their life. It's made to sell. It's made to sell streams more than it is to inform people about who he is. Nobody expects a revolutionary point of view. I don't think it's. No, I think quite the contrary actually. Quite the contrary actually, because when you see stuff like Michael Jackson or the Queen movie, like the people in question, the subjects of those movies, they are seen as revolutionaries. They are seen as exceptional men who walked among us. But in reality, yeah, they were good. They were talented. They seized some pretty cool opportunities. However, those movies sensationalizes who those people are, and that's what I hear. That's what I hear. Lamai says most of the pro-black people, like Tariq Nasheed, liked it. He is a musical genius. Oh, he was a musical genius. I think, yeah. Yeah. Music biopics promote the music like anime promotes the manga. Literally, I should have just said that. It was just to promote the manga. Biopics are the equivalent to anime to promote the manga. I should have just said that. Well said. Hit after hit. I will always say that my favorite Michael Jackson songs are Scream and They Don't Care About Us, personally, because I think those are like the only two songs that he has in his catalog where he is just pissed. Maybe Earth Song, but that's more like a plea than just being outright I am not just not happy. Like I am beyond not happy. I am in fact angry. Like but all of it, like his non-angry music, I do like. I do like off the wall, like a lot of songs from Off the Wall. Goodness gracious, and shoot, I need to listen to more of his music. I liked 2,000 Watts. That was such a really good one. Like I don't think there's like a there's you can really think of a bad Michael Jackson movie where you just think like, what was he doing here? You know what I mean? But I will say the funniest part about the Michael Jackson movie was when he wanted to get his grown adult brothers to play Twister again, and his brothers like, Mike, we're adults. Like we're trying to get pussy, Mike. Like we ain't playing Twister no more. I thought that was funny. Michael Jackson was like, ah, you guys. Michael versus Prince, the movie. I've yet listened to Purple Rain. Like I said, I don't listen to music. That's just not my thing. So I am very out of the loop when it comes to a lot of things. I think the time that I was really into music was during the SoundCloud era, and that was it. After the SoundCloud era, I was like, all right, I'm done. Like I think I had a friend that would recommend me some music, but after that, I was like, yeah, I'm done. He also had a decent sense of humor. He helped Weird Al with his parody songs of Beat It and Bad and showed up in them. Yeah, just a nice and kind guy. Shout out to Mike. Now we have complete freaks up and down the wazoo, everywhere. Were we talking about B stars like 20 minutes ago? What about us? What about the elephants? What about us? Copy. Copy and then paste. No, but like I said, when the time comes, when I make a million bajillion dollars off of comics, I'm gonna tell everybody, yeah, it's just luck. I'm gonna be like, yeah, it's just luck. You just gotta be born lucky. You just gotta be with it. You know, you gotta be born for greatness. And if you're not born for greatness, try again. Have you tried reincarnation? So you had a cartoon Nickelodeon, Disney, and had the tunes on lock. And what show was goated for you? The goated shows for Cartoon Network. I like the shows that really imp- funny enough. The shows that made a crazy imprint on me was, let's see, Gym Partner. My Gym Partner's a Monkey. It's not really a good show, but I really like the art of that show. I really liked Camp Lazlo. I liked Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. Courage was all right. Like the Kids Next Door was good. Those were pretty. Those were like pretty high for me. Um, yeah, I'm just strictly going off the top of the head. That was like Cartoon Network. Nickelodeon. I mean, SpongeBob was like literally everywhere, but I really like the Nicktoons. Like, well, SpongeBob is always just up there. Like, and then Jimmy Neutron is pretty much up there. I really like Barnyard. I have like the worst taste of cartoons. It's so funny for people talking to me about like, yo, what do you like? But what do you like? What kind of cartoons did you like when you were a kid? And I'm like, I like the most garbage cartoons that you have ever seen in your life. But I like that show, that plot, the show plot cartoons. I can't remember the title, but Cow and Chicken came from there. Yeah, what a cartoon. David Feiss is such a goat. It's so funny every time like he has such a unique style. You always know that like he touched something, or he directed or he directed something. Like All Dogs Go to Heaven too. I remember seeing All Dogs Go to Heaven, and honestly, that's like peak Don Bluth movie. Like I had a marathon of watching. I had a Don Bluthathon with Levy, and I think he started with. Wait, I saw American Tail. I saw A Land Before Time. I saw whatchamacallit, Land Before Time. I saw All Dogs Go to Heaven, and not gonna lie, All Dogs Go to Heaven just clears, just straight up clears. Like I don't think he made another movie that like just topped my interest than All Dogs. And then when he made, and not he didn't make All Dogs 2, but when All Dogs 2 came, Go to Heaven 2 came around, I didn't, not only that I didn't finish it, but I instantly clocked that David Feiss was the director. And that was honestly the saving grace of All Dogs 2, was that I picked out it was David Feiss who did the Count Chicken guy who directed All Dogs 2, and I was like, yeah, I see you. I see what's going on. But what else? You like Secret Squirrel? Secret Squirrel is pretty cool. I I like the era of like the Canadian invasion, like 16 in Total Drama, and even the not so great ones, like Scaredy Squirrel. I grew to like that one when I growing up, even though a lot of people around my area didn't like it. I also want to say, going to Disney, the thing that like tops off, that goes off the top of my head when it comes to Disney shows that I kind of liked, Kim Possible, Brandy and Mr. Whiskers. I'm not a Disney guy. Like their live, funny enough, their live Disney's live action shows stick out to me more than their cartoons. Like I know American Dragon Jake Long was there, but I never cared. I never really cared. Like, yeah, I know I already mentioned Kim Possible, but Disney shows just weren't that interesting to me. Nope. Kick Butowski. I mean, if I go to Disney shows, I have to switch it over to Disney XD. I gotta like because Disney XD was specifically tailored to boys. It was tailored to people like me, you know. While Disney was just more for girls, Disney XD was tailored more for guys. And with Disney XD, you had like bangers like Kick Butowski. You had like oh, I'm not gonna mention Kid versus Cat because that's like whatever. But I do like Jimmy Two Shoes. Jimmy Two Shoes is probably the best cartoon about hell, like period. Ben 10 was the first went hard. You know what's so crazy? I didn't like episodic shows when I started out, so I slept on Ben 10. That's like something for me personally. I slept on Ben 10, and I use it as like a big inspiration because when I was working on Metal Hero, I as I grew up, I Ben 10 was basically not cultural osmosis because if you were watching Cartoon Network, you were watching Ben 10, but I wasn't really that big into it. But I know people who like Ben 10 really liked it. I just wasn't one of the guys. But as I grow up, I really respect Man of Action because they are on the grind. I don't think I've seen anybody. Yo, Man of Action really like Cartoon Network love Man of Action like bar none, giving them so many cartoons to work with. Oh yeah, Chowder's pretty up there. So is Flapjack. Chowder was sweet while Flapjack was sour in the best way possible. They are good, Mitch. They are good complimentary shows. I love it. Yeah. Nickelodeon. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention this one part about Disney. I remember the day. I remember the day when that Disney show Fish Hooks came out. No, the day before Fish Hooks came out. I was standing at the bus stop going to middle school with my friends, and they were like, "Yo, there's gonna be a new Disney Channel show, guys. That's gonna be so great. We haven't had a Disney Channel show in a while since Phineas. I wouldn't say Phineas and Ferb, but I don't think anybody was like hype for a show since Phineas and Ferb. Since Phineas and Ferb, right? And I was like, yo, who's ready to watch Fish Hooks? And everyone was like, yeah, we're gonna watch Fish Hooks. We're gonna meet back here at the bus stop, and we're gonna talk about the new Disney Channel show. And after Fish Hooks came out, there was like I remember the silence was audible at the bus stop because we were hyping Fish Hooks, and I remember there was this one girl, Fish Hooks, yeah, Fish Hooks, like FISH space HOOKS, Fish Hooks. And I remember there was a girl that broke the silence and was like, yo, Fish Hooks is gay. And we're like, yeah, right? Like we all just bonded up and be like, yeah, this show sucks. This show's gay. Which was very time accurate because everybody was just throwing around gay as an insult, which is really based. But yeah, it was a pretty nice era of quality programming. So spoiled for choice. So spoiled for choice. And even on the shows that you weren't, even on the shows that you even weren't supposed to watch, like Boondocks. Like, yo, the Boondocks was like one of those shows. If you were black, you were watching your parents were letting, like, if you were black, if you were watching Adult Swim, your parents didn't want you watching it, but the fact that it was the Boondocks, they're like, all right, it's black entertainment, so I guess I'll let them watch it. Like, if you were black, you were watching the Boondocks. If you were black, you were watching the Proud Family. If you were black, you were, well, I don't know if there was another one. But those are like the two main things you had to watch. You had to watch. Well, I wouldn't put Black Dynamite up there, even though because even like Black Dynamite was like a little bit much, even for kids, and it wasn't even meant for kids. But like if you're Static Shock, yeah, Static Shock was there on the Mount Rushmore of your black parents are making you watch this. Never watched the Boondocks as a kid. I was over. It's a good show. It was really good. Like, of course, I'm gonna say that. But nobody today have learned anything from the Boondocks. My cousin Skeeter. I haven't seen that. That's Disney, right? I think that's Disney. Static Shock. Oh my gosh, I remember. I remember. I was on. I was on YouTube and I saw a thumbnail of people saying, "Yo, support Carl Jones' next project because we need." Because like there's so little amount of black representation in cartoons and media, and I'm like, "Bitch, shut up, dog." I'm like, "Yo, we have Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. We have Craig of the Creek, dog. We have like shoot. What else? What else? I'm so out of it. We have like that dude. It was like that African anime African cartoon on cartoon African style of anime. Uh what Thugalicious, you gay. Yeah. I'm like, yo, we're so like right now there's a pretty oh yeah, there was Kipo as well. Like you're not and the Proud Family came back as the Proud Family came back. Yo, like you can't really tell me that we are drowning in the lack of black cartoons. Like, you don't feed me that nonsense at all. We're fine. We are fine. Afghan cartoon. No, I was gonna say not after 9/11. Like that's the first. That was the first thing that came to my mind. I'm like, yeah, no, we hard turned. America has hard pivoted to. We're feeling guilt about now. We feel guilt about the xenophobia after 9/11. That the pendulum has finally swung after 20 years. The pendulum has swung. You watch Avatar, eh? I forgot to mention that on Nickelodeon. Yo, when I watched that Avatar movie, the Avatar Aang movie, I enjoyed it. But you know what's crazy? When I watch other people's opinions on Avatar, it made me realize how little I knew about the Avatar world and how because like I experienced the show by the reruns on Nicktoons, and I watched those reruns enough. I didn't binge watch all four seasons. I did it like in the old school ways of you just watch everything out of order. By what the network felt like showing you at the time, and then you had to use your imagination and memory of piecing these things together. So I remember I was watching the movie with Levy, and he was like, "Yo, where's Suki?" And I was like, "Who's Suki?" And I'm like, "Who's she?" You know what I mean? So I was like, every time I would like watch somebody talk about Avatar, they're like, "Yeah, this is kind of doggy do." And I'm like, what do you mean it's kind of doggy do? But when I would listen to them and saying like how it pales in comparison towards the original series, or it doesn't really keep up with the continuity of the series, I'm like, oh yeah. Like they would mention things that I kind of remember, right? But while I watch the movie, I'm not going to remember it because I only have that fragmented memory of seeing those of experiencing the show on TV in a non-marathon sense. So just like going off of the vibes, I enjoyed what they wanted to do. But when I would watch people's gripes about it, one gripe that I heard about it that kind of made me think, yeah, that's kind of bad, was the entire message of the movie. Aang already figured that out in the original series, that he doesn't need to revive the airbender, the air nomads to keep his culture alive. He learned that in the original series, but they retold that story within the movie, and we're supposed to have that understanding, that continuity, that they all learned everything from the original series moving on to now. Nick had the best mid-show, mid-commercial clips. Do you recall those? Are you talking about like the promos? I don't think I remember those. Did they have them in? Are you talking about bumpers? If you're talking about bumpers, then that just has to go to like CN City hands down. To this day, they haven't done like to this day, Cartoon Network has can never top what they did with CN City. Like those weird Nickelodeon transformations, etc. Okay, so you're talking about bumpers, I suppose. No, I don't remember those. Unfortunately, I don't remember those. Unfortunately, no. But I wish. I might have to like go back and watch the Last Airbender again. Well, not again, but probably binge watch it for the first time. Because it's yeah, good. It's so crazy because that was like that reminds like the more that I think about it, the more it reminds me of how Disney tried to have their own Last Airbender, kind of, with Oban Star Racer, another Eastern inspired show, like in terms of art style. But Oban Star Racer just didn't go. It just didn't go as well. But I freaking love the story behind that show because the guy got his rights back from Disney, and now he's just trying to find a way to make more of that story. And I'm like, that is dedication. I love that. Good for him. Oh yeah, Disney also had Monster Allergy. They did really good stuff in licensing. Some random cartoon character would like vomit, and it would spell Nickelodeon. Let me see if I can find that on YouTube. Like what year? Do you remember what year you saw it in? Was it like after these mess? Oh, you're talking about the. Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about. The '90s. Oh, okay. When they got the MTV dude to do their bumpers, like that's why it was so memorable. They hired the guy that did the MTV bumpers to make them. And after he was gone, yeah, Nickelodeon just did not have the same sauce. They just didn't have the same sauce. Oh man, Planet Sheen. I can't believe I did not mention Penguins of Madagascar. That was such a formulative show for me. I forgot how formulative that show is for me to the point where the penguin icon was basically like an OC from Penguins of Madagascar. That show got me into writing fan fiction. That got me into writing and freaking telling stories like that. Bumper. Oh, I didn't know that's what they were called. Yeah, they're called bumpers. Goodness gracious, I didn't know it was. I didn't look at my thing so far. It's so dark. It's so grainy. Goodness gracious. I mean, I should leave anyway. It is time. It is time. I haven't been drawing this thing yet. So let me save. so I can make ground beef and rice. Yeah. Ground turkey. Ground turkey, that's what I need. That I'm so tired. I gotta cook. I need to eat food. I need to take my omega-3 supplements for my eyes. So, good luck, dude. Peace. Alright, thanks. Peace.